Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Manoj Singh Rana with the Midday News. The headlines. Newly inducted union ministers assume charge of their ministries. Anurag Thakur takes charge as the Information and Broadcasting Minister. Union Cabinet and the Council of Ministers meeting to be held later today following reshuffle. Mansukh Mandavia takes charge as the Health and Family Welfare Minister. Ashwini Vaishnav assumes charge as Railways Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with directors of IITs and other technical institutions. Union Finance Ministry releases fourth monthly installment of post-devolution revenue deficit grant of over 9,871 crore rupees to 17 states. Delimitation Commission begins its two-day visit to Jammu Division from today. Over 36 crore 48 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.18%, over 45,000 new cases reported in last 24 hours. Former Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister and senior Congress leader Veerbhadra Singh passes away after a prolonged illness. President and Prime Minister express grief at his demise. In Euro Cup football, England to clash with Italy in the final at the Wembley Stadium on Sunday. And in Wimbledon tennis in women's singles semi-finals, Ashley Barty to take on Angelique Kerber and second seed Arina Sabalenka to clash with 8th seed Karolina Pliskova this evening. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news. Several newly inducted union ministers today took charge of their offices. Yesterday, 43 ministers were sworn in to the Union Council of Ministers. They include 15 cabinet ministers and 28 ministers of state. Mr. Anurag Thakur assumed charge of Information and Broadcasting Ministry. After taking charge, Mr. Thakur said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has done remarkable work in the last 7 years. The minister said he will work to fulfill the expectations and responsibilities given to him as Information and Broadcasting Minister.
सूचना प्रसारण मंत्रालय के माध्यम से हम कैसे और जन जन तक पहुंच पाएं और क्या-क्या काम जो पीछे मुझसे पूर्व बहुत बड़े लोगों ने यहाँ पर किए हैं उनको मैं भी आगे बढ़ा पाऊं। वहीं दूसरी ओर जो जिम्मेदारी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने मुझे दी है मैं उस पर खरा उतरने का हर संभव प्रयास करूंगा और आशा करता हूं कि आप सबके सहयोग से इस जिम्मेदारी का निर्वहन ठीक ढंग से कर पाऊंगा।
Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Dr. L. Murugan, also assumed his office. Mr. Mansukh Mandavia also took charge as Health and Family Welfare Minister in the newly formed cabinet. Mr. Mandavia has also been allocated the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. After assuming the charge, the minister said he will work as per the expectations of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Union Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Bharti Praveen Pawar, also assumed office. Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav took charge as the Railways, Communication, Electronics and Information Technology Minister. Mr. Vaishnav said he will work for transforming the railways, which is a major part of Prime Minister's vision.
मैं सबसे पहले प्रधानमंत्री जी को धन्यवाद देता हूं कि इतनी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी दी है। प्रधानमंत्री जी का विजन रेलवे के लिए जैसे जन जन तक ट्रांसफॉर्म हो लोगों की लाइफ, एक आम आदमी, एक गरीब, एक वंचित, एक किसान, पिछड़े से पिछड़े व्यक्ति को भी रेलवे के बेनिफिट मिले, ऐसा उनका बड़ा विजन है। तो इस विजन के लिए मैं काम करूंगा और प्रधानमंत्री जी के विजन को इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए मेहनत करूंगा।
Union Minister of State for Railways Darshana Vikram Jardosh and Rao Sahib Danve also assumed office in Rail Bhavan today. Mr. Kiren Rijiju took charge as the Law and Justice Minister. On this occasion, the minister said this is a huge challenge for him and a big responsibility to discharge the function of law and justice.
It is definitely a huge challenge for me and a responsibility to discharge my function as the Minister for Law and Justice of this country. Everything can be handled with proper guidance, proper understanding of the subject and application of right mind. Prime Minister's vision of making an Atmanirbhar Bharat also requires a robust legal system in our country. We will always try to be transparent and we will always try to be approachable.
Mr. G. Kishan Reddy took charge as the Culture and Tourism Minister. Mr. Reddy has also been allocated the Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region. Union Minister of State for Culture Meenakshi Lekhi and Arjun Ram Meghwal also assumed office today. Mr. Hardeep Puri assumed the charge of Ministry of Petroleum and said he will work towards development of a natural gas-based economy in the country and increase the share of natural gas in primary energy mix of the country to 15% by 2030.
As we transition towards a $5 trillion economy, as I said, energy availability and consumption will be of paramount importance. Clearly, our focus will be on increasing domestic production of crude and natural gas, and in line with Pradhan Mantri Ji's vision of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. We will also work towards development of a natural gas-based economy in the country and increase the share of natural gas in the primary energy mix of the country to 15% by 2030.
Assuming charge as Cabinet Minister in the Ministry of Power and New and Renewable Energy, Rajkumar Singh said the Prime Minister has shown great confidence and he will live up to that. Mr. Ramchandra Prasad Singh took charge of Ministry of Steel, while Purushottam Rupala as the Union Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. Mr. Bhupinder Yadav assumed charge as the Minister for Labour and Employment, while Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar also took over as the Minister of State in the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology.
Digital India and Skill India are two tremendously important pillars that will shape the future of our country, shape the future prospects of the youth of our country to be able to realize the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji of creating an Atmanirbhar Bharat that is prosperous and that creates opportunity for every young Indian in every part of this country.
The newly appointed Union Ministers today visited BJP headquarters in New Delhi. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia, Minister of Port, Shipping and Waterways and Ayush Sarbanand Sonowal and Labour and Employment Minister Bhupendra Yadav visited the party office and paid floral tribute to Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay and Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. They also met BJP President JP Nadda and party leaders. The Union Cabinet and the Council of Ministers will meet later today, a day after Prime Minister Narendra Modi carried out a major expansion reshuffle of his ministers. The two meetings will be held back to back. The Cabinet meeting is likely to take place at 5 p.m, while the Council of Ministers will meet at 7 p.m. It is usual for the Prime Minister to convene meetings of the Union Cabinet as well as the Council of Ministers after the reshuffle or expansion exercise. Yesterday's exercise saw the induction of 15 cabinet ministers and several ministers of state. 7 ministers of state were elevated to the cabinet rank.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today interacted with directors of centrally funded technical institutions through video conferencing. Newly appointed Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan also joined the interaction. In a series of tweets, Mr. Pradhan expressed confidence that under the guidance of Mr. Modi and the support of academic institutions, the ministry will continue to set new benchmarks in integrating education with employment and making it more inclusive, holistic, multidisciplinary and at par with global standards. He said with the introduction of the new education policy, the Indian education system has taken a giant leap in fostering an environment for a future-ready 21st century India. The minister said the government is committed to make students and youth the primary stakeholders in propelling India towards an equitable knowledge society. Directors of IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIT Madras and IIT Kanpur attended the meeting. The Union Finance Ministry has released the fourth monthly installment of post-devolution revenue deficit grant of over 9,871 crore rupees to 17 states. A total amount of 39,484 crore rupees has been released to eligible states in the current financial year so far. In terms of release of amount, Kerala stands at top position, followed by West Bengal and Andhra Pradesh. The 15th Finance Commission has recommended a total post-devolution revenue deficit grant of 1,18,452 crore to 17 states in the current financial year.
More than 36 crore 48 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said 33 lakh 81,000 vaccine doses were given during the last 24 hours. The recovery rate in the country is now at 97.18%. More than 44,000 people recovered from COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. More than 2 crore 98 lakh people have recovered from COVID-19 till now. India reported 45,892 new cases in the last 24 hours. In all, 817 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. With this, the death toll due to COVID-19 has reached 4,05,028. COVID testing capacity has been substantially ramped up, and more than 42 crore 52 lakh tests have been conducted till now.
In Tamil Nadu, State Health Minister M. Subramaniam today said the state has so far received 1 crore 59 lakh 26,050 vaccines from the Union Government. Speaking to newspersons at Chennai, he said the state has a stock of 1,76,730 vaccines presently. The state has vaccinated 1 crore 59 lakh 58,402 people till date. The minister said he would be visiting Delhi today and submit a memorandum containing an appeal for more vaccines, approval for medical colleges and approval for vaccine manufacturing in the state.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Newly inducted union ministers assume charge of their ministries. Anurag Thakur takes charge as the Information and Broadcasting Minister. Union Cabinet and the Council of Ministers meeting to be held later today following reshuffle. Mansukh Mandavya takes charge as the Health and Family Welfare Minister. Ashwini Vaishnav assumes charge as the Railways Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with directors of IITs and other technical institutions. Union Finance Ministry releases fourth monthly installment of post-devolution revenue deficit grant of over 9,871 crore rupees to 17 states. Delimitation Commission begins its 2-day visit to Jammu Division from today. Over 36 crore 48 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.18%. Over 45,000 new cases reported in last 24 hours. Former Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister and senior Congress leader Veerbhadra Singh passes away after prolonged illness. President and Prime Minister express grief at his demise. In Euro Cup football, England to take with Italy in the final at the Wembley Stadium on Sunday. And in Wimbledon tennis, in women's singles semi-finals, Ashley Barty to take on Angelique Kerber and second seed Arina Sabalenka to clash with 8th seed Karolina Pliskova this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Ayush COVID-19 counselling helpline number is 14443 and MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा
Welcome back to the Midday News. After the first leg of its visit to Kashmir Valley, the Delimitation Commission begins its 2-day visit to Jammu Division from today. Our correspondent reports that the Commission members will meet political leaders of various political parties and district electoral officers during its visit of Jammu Division. The Commission has arrived at Kishtwar and will meet with district election officers, DEOs of Kishtwar, Doda and Ramban districts. The Delimitation Commission will also meet with DEOs of Jammu, Samba, Kathua, Udhampur, Riyasi, Rajouri and Poonch districts tomorrow morning in Jammu before leaving for New Delhi. The Delimitation Commission was constituted in March last year and its term was extended by another year in March 2021 due to the ongoing pandemic. Tasked with drawing out constituencies, the Commission will also carve constituencies for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes for the first time in the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. Former Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister and senior Congress leader Veerbhadra Singh passed away today after prolonged illness. Veerbhadra Singh breathed his last at the Indira Gandhi Medical College, Shimla in the wee hours today due to multi-organ failure. 87-year-old Veerbhadra Singh is the longest-serving Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have expressed grief at the demise of Veerbhadra Singh. In a tweet, President Ramnath Kovind said his political career, spanning 6 decades in his roles as Chief Minister and parliamentarian, was marked by his commitment to serve the people of Himachal Pradesh. In a tweet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Veerbhadra Singh ji had a long political career with rich administrative and legislative experience. The Prime Minister expressed condolences to his family and supporters. Home Minister Amit Shah has also expressed grief. In a tweet, Mr. Shah said he received the sad news of the demise of former Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, Veerbhadra Singh ji. In Himachal Pradesh, the state government has declared mourning for 3 days with effect from today as a mark of respect to the former Chief Minister who passed away in the early hours of this morning. There will be no official entertainment during this period.
Former Maharashtra Minister and NCP leader Eknath Khadse today appeared before the Enforcement Directorate Office in Mumbai in a money laundering case linked with a land deal in Pune. While arriving at the ED office, he said he will cooperate in the investigation. However, he added that this questioning is politically motivated and he has already been inquired for 5 times. He also said that the Anti-Corruption Bureau has given a report that there is no evidence against him. The ED had yesterday arrested his son-in-law Girish Chaudhary in this case, and currently he is in the custody of the ED. In Telangana, Y.S. Sharmila, daughter of former Chief Minister Y.S. Rajshekhar Reddy and sister of Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, will launch new party, the YST Telangana Party, today at a private convention centre in Hyderabad today. The launch has been timed marking the birth anniversary of her late father on this day. The inauguration meeting will be a low-key affair due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is creating essential infrastructure in rural pockets of Karnataka to treat liquid waste. Haveri Zilla Panchayat in Karnataka has emerged as a pioneer in setting up a liquid waste management plant in Kodihal village in Ranebannur Taluk under Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. More from our correspondent.
All the liquid waste flowing from gutter, drainage and houses flow down cement canals and collect in stone tanks. The waste management plant situated near the river treat the wastewater before allowing it to reach the river. This has created a cleaner, hygienic environment in 10 villages nearby and prevented contaminated water from mixing in the river. The Haveri Jilla Panchayat Chief Executive Officer Mohammad Roshan has informed AIR News that this is first of its kind infrastructure created at a village level in the state.
For the first time in Karnataka, we have started a liquid waste management plant in a Gram Panchayati called Kodiyal. This Gram Panchayati houses around 8,500 people. This project, which has been designed under the Swachh Bharat mission at an estimated cost of about 24 lakhs, has a sedimentation pond, a stabilization pond, and its unique feature is a constructed wetland where we have used kenna plantation to absorb the remnants of the dissolved solids which may be present in the water before we discharge it into the river.
When finally executed, the liquid waste management plant will help cure wastewater in 55 villages in the first phase. With Manjunath Gudisagar in Haveri, this is Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
The Union Finance Ministry has denied news reports that Cairn Energy has seized or frozen state-owned property of Government of India in Paris. The ministry in a release said it has not received any notice, order or communication in this regard from any French court. It further said the government is trying to ascertain the facts, and whenever such an order is received, appropriate legal remedies will be taken in consultation with its councils to protect the interests of India.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 5 terrorists were killed during the past 24 hours in 3 separate encounters with security forces. 4 terrorists were gunned down in 2 separate gunfights in Pulwama and Kulgam districts, while one of the longest surviving terrorists of Hizbul Mujahideen was killed in an encounter in Handwada area of Kupwara district. Inspector General of Police, Kashmir Range, Vijay Kumar said in an encounter at Puchal area of Pulwama district, 2 unidentified terrorists were killed in an overnight joint operation. He said 2 terrorists killed by security forces in Zodar area of Kulgam district belonged to the Lashkar-e-Taiba. He said one of the longest surviving terrorists of Hizbul Mujahideen was killed in an encounter in Handwada area of Kupwara district yesterday morning. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha passed directions to prepare a comprehensive future plan for promoting tourism sector and identifying new unexplored tourist spots with a view to providing a unique experience to tourists and to increase their footfall. While taking a review meeting of the Tourism Department at Civil Secretariat in Srinagar yesterday, the Lieutenant Governor observed that the Union Territory is bestowed with abundant natural beauty and breathtaking landscapes. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
दुनिया रंग बिरंगी, खट्टे मीठे रसीले समाचारों का सतरंगी खजाना आकाशवाणी पर। खबरें होंगी हटकर, जानेंगे कुछ अलग, हंसेंगे खुलकर, करेंगे सजग। सुनना न भूलें सोमवार और मंगलवार आज सवेरे तथा शनिवार और रविवार कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में।
With 16 days to go for the Tokyo Olympic Games, AIR today will be profiling world number 15 ranked shuttler B. Sai Praneeth, who has maintained his world number 15 ranking to qualify for his first ever Olympics.
Born on August 10, 1992 at Palakolu in Andhra Pradesh, B. Sai Praneeth became the first Indian male shuttler in 36 years to win a bronze medal in BWF World Championships in 2019 after Prakash Pudukone in 1983. After trying hands at swimming, athletics and gymnastics, a young Praneeth was inspired by his aunt, a former national level badminton player, to take up the sport. Since then, the 28-year-old has left no stone unturned to forge himself into a formidable shuttler. In just 2 years of practice under Gopi Chand, Praneeth made his arrival by winning bronze at the BWF Junior World Championships in Mexico at the age of 18. At the 2013 Indonesian Open, Praneeth scripted a phenomenal win when he defeated badminton legend Taufiq Hidayat in a 3-game thriller. 3 years later, he beat 3-time Olympic silver medalist Lee Chong-wei at the All England Open in Birmingham before ending the season on a high with a gold at South Asian Games and his maiden Grand Prix title at Canada Open. The run continued in the following year as he clinched BWF Super Series title at Singapore Open. Gitanjali Huria Mathur for Sports Desk, AIR News.
Now, some more news related to the Tokyo Olympics. In a big jolt to Olympic preparations, the Japanese government imposed a state of emergency to contain COVID-19 infections 16 days before the Games get underway. The state of emergency has been declared from July the 7th to August the 22nd, a period covering the entire duration of the Olympics. The decision comes a day after Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga said his government would decide on new measures to stop the spread of the virus. The Tokyo Metropolitan Government reported 920 new coronavirus cases on July the 7th. Also, the Olympic torch relay has been cancelled on Tokyo's streets. Starting Friday, public relay events in the city will be replaced with flame lighting ceremonies streamed online, the latest setback for the event.
Listeners from all corners of the country are participating in the Olympic quiz of AIR News. A large number of listeners have sent us replies via email. Ashutosh Gaurav, a resident of Ranchi, Jharkhand, became the winner by sending correct answers to Tuesday's question. To participate in the Olympic quiz, tune into our program SportsCan every day at 7:20 p.m.
In the run-up to the Tokyo Olympics, the News Services Division of All India Radio in its SportsCan program is broadcasting every day Olympics quiz with AIR News. Olympics quiz आकाशवाणी समाचार के साथ in Hindi. Every day a question related to Olympics will be asked at the beginning and closing of the program. To participate in this program, listeners can send the replies by email on airsportscan@gmail.com. The first correct answer received through email will be adjudged the winner of the quiz. The name of the winner will be announced in SportsCan program the next day. It will also be flashed on AIR Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. The Sports Authority of India will provide India team jersey to the winner. So tune in to the SportsCan program every day at 7:20 p.m. on FM Gold and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.
Semi-finals lineup is complete for women's singles. Australian world number one Ashley Barty will take on 2018 winner Angelique Kerber of Germany in the last four. Second seed Arvina Sabalenka sets up a semi-final clash with 8th seed Karolina Pliskova. In Wimbledon tennis, world number one Novak Djokovic, 7th seed Matteo Berrettini, 10th seed Denis Shapovalov and 14th seed Hubert Hurkacz have stormed into men's single semi-finals after beating their opponents. In Eurocup football, England will clash with Italy in the final at the Wembley Stadium in London on Sunday. Earlier, England beat Denmark 2-1 to set up a final clash against Italy. England reached its first major international tournament final after a gap of 55 years as the Three Lions registered a win against Denmark in the second semi-final of Euro 2020 at the Wembley Stadium in London.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. The national capital Delhi is likely to have heat wave. Minimum temperature was 31 degrees. Maximum may go up to 41 degrees. Mumbai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature was 27. Maximum expected to be around 33. Chennai may have thunderstorm with rain. Kolkata is expected to witness generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Jammu is likely to have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Srinagar may witness mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Leh is likely to have a partly cloudy sky. Gilgit is also expected to have a partly cloudy sky. Muzaffarabad is likely to witness mainly clear sky. Itanagar is expected to witness generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature was 23, maximum around 32. Kohima is likely to have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Imphal may have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Newly inducted union ministers assume charge of their ministries. Anurag Thakur takes charge as the Information and Broadcasting Minister. Union Cabinet and the Council of Ministers meeting to be held later today following reshuffle. Mansukh Mandavia takes charge as Health and Family Welfare Minister. Ashwini Vaishnav assumes charge as Railways Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with directors of IITs and other technical institutions. Union Finance Ministry releases fourth monthly installment of post-devolution revenue deficit grant of over 9,871 crore rupees to 17 states. Delimitation Commission begins its two-day visit to Jammu Division from today. Over 36 crore 48 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.18%. Over 45,000 new cases reported in last 24 hours. Former Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister and senior Congress leader Veerbhadra Singh passes away after prolonged illness. President and Prime Minister express grief at his demise. In Euro Cup football, England to clash with Italy in the final at the Wembley Stadium on Sunday, and in Wimbledon tennis in women's singles semi-finals, Ashley Barty to take on Angelique Kerber, second seed Arina Sabalenka to clash with 8th seed Karolina Pliskova this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.